to another episode of Time to Talk to Thomas. Well, today we're going to talk about classical conditioning, one of my favorite topics. What is classical conditioning? According to the National Library of Medicine, classical conditioning is an unconscious process where an automatic conditioned response becomes associated with a specific stimulus. Let's talk about who discovered classical conditioning. According to simplypsychology.org, a piece that was written by a peer-reviewed publisher by the name of Solomon Lloyd, who's a professor at the University of Manchester, says that classical conditioning, also known as the Pavlovian conditioning, was discovered by a Russian physiologist, not a psychologist, by the name of Ivan Pavlov, who was born in 1849, passed away in 1936. Now, what does classical conditioning involve? Basically, it involves 5 pillars. I say it's the neutral stimulus, the unconditioned stimulus, the conditioned stimulus, the conditioned response, the unconditioned response. Now, what Pavlov's example was, he basically used a bowl of meat, a dog, and a bell. His goal was to try to get the dog to salivate over the bowl of meat by using the sound of a bell. He wanted to replace the bowl of meat, use the sound of the bell to cause the dog to salivate. Now, how does that happen? Well, basically, the bell considered to be the neutral stimulus, and the bowl of meat would be the unconditional stimulus, and also the dog salivate is the unconditioned response. So what he did was, every time the dog saw the bowl of meat, began to salivate, he rung the bell. He did that over a period of time, multiple times. Then finally, he took the meat out of the equation and to see if the dog would salivate just by the sound of the bell. By that time, the dog has become conditioned, hopefully, by hearing the sound of the bell. So now the neutral stimulus, which is the bell, has now become the conditioned stimulus, because every time the dog heard the bell, the dog immediately, not unconditionally responding to salivating, he conditionally responded now to salivate based on the fact that the bell has become the conditioned stimulus. The bell has now become the conditioned stimulus, which activated the conditioned response of the dog to salivate without seeing the bowl of meat. Thank you so much for taking the time out with Thomas to talk about classical conditioning.